Hey, what up guys? Ree here. Ree up motherfuck. Back again. Another video. Got some crazy information. Let's get into it. Okay, basically, as I was studying the occult, as I do every day, stumbled upon a book called Liber Null. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. By Peter J. Carroll. So this is a very important book in the occult from what I've found and from my research, and this is something that the Illuminati, when it was formed, would use this information. Also, Aleister Crowley. I'm going to put the little diagram up here because you can kind of see all the different sectors that have used this type of information or found spirituality, then came back to this information. So in my readings on the last page, I think this is book 2. He has 3 different occult books. So I'm going to do different segments where I'm going to be talking about different parts of the book, because he talks about also about magic and how to prepare for it and how to have the right mindset in order to do magic. And but this was on the last page. This is the most interesting part I found, was about reincarnation. So there's 3 different rites in order to reincarnate. But before we talk about that, it's important to understand that within magic, there's always opposites, like a yin and a yang, right? Well, when it comes to death, the opposite is sex. Which is funny because I actually knew that, and I don't know how I knew that. I wrote a song about it. But anyways, the opposite. So what they say, in order to become a degree of master, so this is all about becoming and finding mastery within magic and mastering yourself, which is what it really is. So once you want to get to the last degree while you're on earth, and then you created all of this, you mastered magic, the last degree is your reincarnation. And I guess when you get to a certain point, you're so good at creating life here, you want to be able to reincarnate purposely. You don't want to lose yourself and then have to remember everything again, which kind of makes sense, actually. Because if you're awakened to how the world is, you don't want to go back to sleep. And if there's a way to do it, people have found that way. So there's 3 different rites. There's the red rite, the black rite, and the white rite. So the red rite, this consists of that it can only be performed by male adepts, and it's performed when the adept's body has become very aged and damaged. So then the adept takes a young, strong female and forms a powerful love bond with her. He impregnates her, and then during the early stages of her pregnancy, within the first 2 months, he voluntarily ends his present existence. So kills himself there. Then the powers of the adept develop in astral travel workings, coupled with the effects of the love bond to the mother, cause a reincarnation into the developing fetus. Provision is beforehand made for the security of the female and the reinduction of the reincarnating master. So that's crazy. So basically, he just goes and finds someone, and they fall in love, and then he gets off himself, and then what? Then that's crazy. I don't know how. I guess you would have to reincarnate. Like, you would get her, you would impregnate her, and then there's probably a certain amount of time before the soul comes in of the baby. So I guess he has that kind of time to do that. That's crazy. The next one is the black rite, and this rite consists of forceful entry of a spirit into the body of an already inhabited being. And then it says it's both dangerous and unreliable, and is only used in certain particular and desperate situations. It will sometimes result in there being a double life force in one body if the invading spirit fails to displace the occupant. In this case, the victim will seem to have gone mad. In any case, the memory of the taken over being remains, and the invaded being will have to work through this. Of this rite, I have been advised to say no more. So he doesn't want to tell us any more about that, because that's crazy. So you could actually, you kind of makes you think, like when you see a lot of people who are, like they may say they have mental issues and things like that. How do we not know they weren't invaded by another soul? And the soul, obviously, if it did all of that and and took its life, its own life, to be able to go into a next body. It's not leaving. And I guess that's what exorcisms come in. And then this book talks about exorcisms, so that's probably like the walk-ins and what you have to do at exorcism. So this is all real occult information, you guys. And then so when we see a lot of celebrities dying by the numbers, it makes you wonder who's doing this. Like, I'm not saying all of them are, but makes you wonder. And because it makes you a more powerful being, because then you remember everything you already knew, right? So, and then the last rite is a white rite, and this rite is an integral reincarnation is achieved, but the receiving body is a fetus randomly selected by escaping spirit in astral flight. That's deep. In the event that one's friends, followers, and disciples may be unable to locate one's new manifestation and ensure that it receives a proper magical education, it may be wise to carry a marker. At death, some sigil emblematic of one's magical aspiration is fiercely visualized. It may later be apparent to the clairvoyant perception in the constitution of developing infant, or it may severe to cause some recognition or affinity with the symbol of its pre-chance accidentally stumbled upon in its new existence. So that's crazy. So in this one, so you're able to go and receive a body in the fetus randomly selected. So I guess you can do it purposely to a certain fetus, or you can randomly select one. That is insane. So, and there are ways of doing this. There's like different rituals they have to do in order to do this and to like prepare for this. So it's kind of like the last thing of displaying your power. And then imagine when you come back and then other magicians have come back as well and you all remember each other. Like, that's insane. And that's crazy how the last rite is talking about how you have to make a sigil or a marker to remember that you came, to remind yourself, or people have to come remind you. It's kind of like the Matrix, right? Where he kind of like puts the little symbol so he remembers. Like, that's crazy if you think about it. And sometimes you don't know, like, if we don't remember, like, what happened to us? Like, did we know this before? Because sometimes when I'm researching all this stuff, and that's why I'm doing all these videos, because it's like I kind of remember that I used to do this, like share occult information, and that's what I'm supposed to do, like, and always did music. So I don't know, I thought that was really interesting. And so I'm going to bring more videos like this of like just information I find in books, because I don't want to say the same things everybody's saying online. Like, guys already know, you know what I mean? Like, I'd rather find some deeper information. So, yeah, that's what I found today. And the next video, I'll talk about how to prepare for magic. All right. Love y'all. And re-up, motherfucker. Re-up.